Alright everybody, so my apologies. Welcome back to another video. So finishing up this update, we still have two more units that I need to basically discuss. The first one is Arima, which he's just kinda suck because of that one passive that he has, which I will talk about later on if I decide to basically make a video on him. But for this video, I'm gonna be talking about funnily enough, the best supporting unit in the entire game currently. Like, he's the best buffer, which is Skeleton Knight now. And yeah, out of any unit in the game, he is actually currently the best buffer in the entire game. He's better than Erwin, he's better than Subaru, he's better than even like Time Goddess. He's better than her at like supporting, which is insane. This might be on par with Dio and what's his name, Garo, in terms of buffing though. That's the thing. And how do you get him? Well, you get him from the Berserk capsule that you can get from the Infinite mode on World 1. I forgot, it was the graveyard map if I remember correctly. On World 1, you just do that Infinite mode and then you will get capsule from it. You'll have a chance to get capsule from it. And then if you open up the capsule, there's a chance of you getting Skeleton Knight. So I'm gonna be showcasing the unit. It's an EZA boosted unit, so yeah, it's going to be glitch and glorious for mine. And I have it with perfect skill tree, not perfect, it's critical chance skill tree. There you go, I forgot what it's called again. He's going to cost 2000 again. Pretty standard, nothing really that big of a deal. I have seen what this unit does, and he does some really insane stuff. So oh, Bulma just took all my money. Great, Bulma. There you go. So, on placement, he will deal an astonishing 10 million damage, 37 range, almost 4-second SPA, and this horrible code AoE. That is just terrible. Anyway, on placement, he will immediately have two passive and an ability. Now, the first passive is called the Hope for Struggler, which will make it so that any ally in range with less damage than this unit will receive plus 40% damage, minus 20% range, minus 20% SPA and plus 20% range. And he will also make it so that any stun on these allies will be redirected to Skeleton Knight. Now, that in itself is already an insane buff, okay? To be able to basically not permanently, but just like infinitely buff all of your unit in range by plus 40% damage is crazy, okay? That's the first passive. The second passive is called Mysterious Ally. The closest ally is marked with Struggler, and then if you have the Guts ultimate, he will also be permanently marked as well. And then what the mark will do is that it will increase the range, increase crit chance and crit damage at the same time as well. And it will also make it so that that unit that is marked cannot be stunned or debuffed, and does not redirect stun to this unit as well. So the unit will become completely immune to stun or debuff. And then sacrificial branding, which is unlocked when you have specific unit equipped, which I will do right here. I forgot to bring some of the unit. Might as well bring it right now. So the unit that you want to bring for this passive is, the first one is Griffith, which is right here, and the second one is going to be Guts himself, and there you go. And then I will also bring Kaneki, because why not? Kaneki, there you go. So let's do this again. Sacrificial branding, if I remember correctly, that's what it's called. Yeah, sacrificial branding. Oh, and then let's place down Skeleton Knight again. Alright, there you go. So let's continue. Sacrificial branding, which will unlock when you have like certain units in his range. So the first one, if Guts is equipped, all allies in range are immune to debuff, and then the Guts will have 20% damage buff, and he will also become immune to stun again. If you have what's it called, Griffith, but in his Eclipse form, the Eclipse activate with no requirement, so you can keep activating the Eclipse as long as it's not on cooldown. And then if you have him, the Griffith, on his holy form, he will buff ally with plus 25% damage and minus 15% SPA permanently. And then if you have Griffith Dark, cannot be used if both are equipped. So apply all above buff. Black Swordsman Outrage no longer stun allies. Griffith Holy will will perform all 3 action, which is all this one right here. And then Hope for Struggler now applies to everyone regardless of the damage stat. So if you have Griffith Holy, the first passive, which is the plus 40% damage, will apply to everybody, even if the damage of the unit is higher than Skeleton Knight himself. So let's start upgrading. He does go to some pretty insane damage. 4 billion, 5 billion, and then 7 billion, and there you go. His full AoE is probably the second highest unit in the game, with like just in the highest stat damage. The first one, which is Light Yagami, him being second. So let's place down Guts, and as you can see right here, Guts will have the plus 40% damage debuff, and then the minus 70% SPA. Where did this come from? I forgot. I don't know where this come from. So let's start upgrading Guts and see how. Oh my god, damn boy. Oh, 1.8 billion damage, 150 range, full AoE, and it was 4 seconds earlier. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. This, oh my god, Skeleton Knight, crazy. Crazy. Let's try placing down Griffith and see what it, and see, I want to see his light form. Nice. And then max him out. 1.16 billion damage, 2.7 second SPA. And then Guts now have 2 billion damage. Oh my god, this is crazy. Also, if you don't know, the Skeleton Knight is full AoE as well. That is another thing. So even if you don't have him with like a good trait, he's still a really good unit to bring as a buffer. But again, you need to remember, the unit that he's buffing needs to be lower damage than the Skeleton Knight, unless you have Umbral Prince, which will negate that requirement again. Let's try cloning the damage using Kaneki. Max out Kaneki, Flesh Eater, and 3.3 billion damage, and 2 second SPA, 1 second. It was 1 second earlier. Oh my god, damn. Okay, that is crazy actually. Oh my god, 11 billion? Wait, what? That is crazy though. Okay, yeah. Skeleton Knight is an insanely good buff. He's the best buffer unit in the game. God damn, man. Also, another thing is, if you play Enemy Vanguard, you might really like, oh, the unit is really similar to that game, which it is. Like, because if you don't know, I haven't, what's it called, talk about it, but he has an ability called Savior, which will make it so that if you select a unit to teleport Skeleton Knight to, so he can teleport to other unit, to every unit in range. Not just every unit in range, to any unit in the map. Both Skeleton Knight and the select unit will gain plus 50% damage for the next 3 attack, and then plus 100% crit chance and plus 100% crit damage for 1 attack. So he basically has like a cleanse. Skeleton Knight is stunned. Of course he's stunned, because he's redirecting every stun that everyone has to himself. Almost 20 billion damage. Ah, damn. Yep, there you go. Damage wise, Kaneki still deal more damage than Skeleton Knight himself. Why is it? Oh, is Umbral Prince keep doing the eclipse? Oh my god. Why is it so dark outside? I don't know. Why is it so dark? I actually like it. But like the lamp ambience and stuff like that. I like this a lot, yeah. Anyway, that's all for this video. He's probably like the third best unit from this update, sadly. First one is still being Eto, second one is Kaneki, and then third one Skeletonite. But still, he's an insanely good unit. If you already have Skeletonite, try boosting him and get like Avatar at least on him. And yeah, he's insanely good buffer. And also, you don't even need to max him out. You just need to keep upgrading him to make sure that he deal more damage than your like main DPS unit. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.